All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This isn't the usual setup. We don't have our usual equipment. I'm sure the audio quality, video quality, everything is not nearly as good as it usually is, but I am on vacation in Nantucket. But I still felt the need to get a video out to contribute to this YouTube channel and get some content out there. So that's what we're doing today. So, in honor of that, in honor of me jumping on here during my vacation, come on, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of today's video, because we are talking about Lauri Markkanen. And the Celtics now have shown strong interest and shown some serious interest in Lauri Markkanen. The guy from the Bulls. I think he's only like 24 years old. 7-footer. Plays a lot of the, I think he's more of a stretch four than a true big man. But I'm going to tell you today whether or not I think that Lauri Markkanen is worth the Celtics going out and investing in, because he's seeking a multi-year deal with 14 or to 15, 14, somewhere in that ballpark, $1 million per year. And I just don't know if the Celtics truly would be getting, the best bang for their buck in Lauri Markkanen. Now, I will say one thing. Let's start with the positives here. The kid's 7 feet. He can stretch the floor. When he got drafted by the Bulls, I feel like everyone was kind of like, who the hell is that? And then by his second year, which was now at this point 3 years ago, you kind of thought, whoa, this kid has some game. Like, he's only, 22 years old at the time. He's averaging near 20 points a game. He's a good shooter. He's got height. The whole kit and caboodle, right? But then he started to kind of fall off a little. And I know, injuries have been the problem for him, staying healthy and whatnot, but also just the way that he's played has sort of, I feel like he hasn't gotten much better since being in the league. But I want to stick to the positives here. What he could do for the Celtics would be stretch the floor, would be able to score, because we've seen him score in the past. Now, I know his numbers have kind of dwindled back down to, the 14-point-per-game range, right around there. But at the same time, that could be just he wasn't fitting in the Bulls system. So would he fit in the Celtics system? We'll talk about now, I guess, because I do think that he would fit. I think that they really need a stretch big or a stretch four in particular. And he could obviously play the 5'2" at 7 feet tall. Like, I think that that's the type of player that they legitimately don't have on their roster right now. When you think about their big men, you have Enes Kanter. Can he shoot? No. Can Robert Williams shoot? No. Can Bruno Fernando, who finally is now officially on the Celtics, can he shoot? Hell no. Al Horford, I'll give you the sort of, yeah, he can shoot, but in reality, Al Horford's not a shooter, right? Al Horford can shoot. He's a pretty good percentage shooter. Like, I'm not mad at Al Horford, and we saw it in Boston a few years back. Not mad at all at him taking three-point shots, but he's not a shooter. Lauri Markkanen can legitimately be a shooter, and he's a guy that can make things happen when he has the ball. So that's what I like about him. The only thing I don't like is the sort of, he's been regressing, and the numbers would prove it. Whether he's on the court or off the court, like, you can look at those both ways and say that's regression. He has not been the player he was back in 2 years ago, I guess 2018, 2019. Like, that's when he was sort of showing his potential. And all of a sudden, he's followed it up with a couple years of blah, and you don't really hear much of his name. And you have, Levine out in Chicago taking all the limelight. Like, I don't necessarily think that Lauri Markkanen has proven that he's going to get better and better and better. So, I guess to make a long video short, to give you my answer here, I think Lauri Markkanen has some potential still. I don't think that he's worth $15 million a year. Why? Because you don't pay a flyer $15 million a year for, a multi-year deal. You don't take a flyer at that price tag. And what you'd be doing by getting Lauri Markkanen is taking that flyer. Now, if they could work it out and make it so that $15 million really didn't, hinder them in any way or handcuff them, then sure, like, okay, fine. If you can get him and that deal truly does seem more team-friendly by, you having to clear room and whatnot, which I've absolutely lost complete track of where the Celtics stand financially, as I'm sure multiple people watching this have as well, because for some reason they're like offering, Schroeder $10 million, and then they offer Lauri Markkanen $15 million, and I've just kind of lost track of how they can even be making these things happen. But back to the point here is that, $15 million a year, fine. If you were to figure out a way in some sort of, hypersphere, like, oh, that's not a big deal, it doesn't matter if, he's a flop, then fine, you go do it. But to me, $15 million a year is a lot for a kid that I've only seen get sort of worse and worse in the last 3 years. And, if he was looking at a deal, more like, I don't know, $8 million, $7 million, you do 100% take a flyer on a 7-foot kid that can shoot that's still only 24 years old. But he's asking for $15 million, and $15 million isn't the world. But when the Celtics have reportedly been trying to save up to make a boom in next year's offseason and go get a huge name, you nailing down a Lauri Markkanen for $15 million, multi-year deal, per year, $15 million, it doesn't make that much sense to me. You know, it doesn't align with what we've been told, that the Celtics are really, really trying to make moves to get slightly better this upcoming year, but then next year they're going to make an absolute splash for a superstar. You go and get Lauri, it really doesn't shout, hey, we're about to make a move next year, because now you're tying up money year over year for a kid that really you don't know what you're going to get. Are you going to get the near 20-point per game Lauri Markkanen, or are you going to get the 12 to 13-point per game Lauri Markkanen that can't stay healthy? So to me, I'm kind of out on the Lauri Markkanen sweepstakes again. If they could make it work, and even if they did just sign him for the 15 mil for, you know, I don't know, 2-3 years, I don't hate it. Like, I'll sleep well at night. I think that the kid does have potential, but to me, mathematically, logically thinking, I think you're kind of paying $15 million a year for a flyer, and you're hoping that he works out. And I don't know that I'm willing to take the chance. You know what I mean? Like, Lauri Markkanen to me is a gamble at that price tag. So that's where I stand. I just wanted to get the video out to you guys. I'm sorry if it was, you know, obviously unedited, kind of too raw. Maybe the audio quality stinks. The video quality can't look that bad when you're looking, you know, like this. But make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button and like the video, and let me know in the comments down below what you think of Markkanen. Do you think that he's worth the price tag? Do you think he's worth taking a chance on? Because the Celtics would be taking a chance on him. Let me know. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next video.